right, good morning, everybody. I am pleased to call to order the May 5th, 2022 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Note the presence of all three commissioners, and I'm going to ask Ms. Abby Grasso to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we are continuing on this month. This is a very busy month for weeks honoring different professions and other important community members. And this week is Correctional Officers Week, and Commissioner Gale will be addressing that shortly. And it is also National Nurses Week, and that kicks off tomorrow. This is a week of well-deserved recognition that runs from May 6th to May 12th every year, and May 12th is Florence Nightingale's birthday. This year marks the 202nd anniversary of this celebration. Nurses have always been selfless in their care of patients and those in need, but never more so than during the COVID-19 pandemic. Nurses have routinely sacrificed their personal safety and the safety of their families to be at the bedside of patients. We owe them an enormous debt of gratitude. In particular, I'd like to recognize the county's team of public health nurses. They are essential to the work that the county leads to keep our community healthy, particularly during these last 2 years. Currently, our Office of Public Health has 18 public health nurses, 2 nursing supervisors, and 12 full-time and 3 part-time nurses. Our public health nurses support a wide variety of important programs and services for our community. This includes our mass vaccination services for COVID-19 and influenza in the community. They also run the county's immunization clinics, offering the full array of childhood vaccines via the Vaccine for Children program, as well as certain adult vaccinations for uninsured or underinsured adults. Public health nurses also oversee our tuberculosis control program, where they conduct clinics that provide evaluation and treatment for those infected with tuberculosis. This work can include home visits for the patients, as well as contact investigations in the county. These nurses are integral to our maternal child health program, where they conduct nurse home visits for at-risk families to provide support and link those families with a variety of services. In addition, public health nurses staff our childhood lead poisoning prevention program and conduct home visits and clinical case management for lead-poisoned children. And they also oversee our naloxone and potassium iodide distribution to county residents. And finally, the nurse of the day is available on site to assist those who walk in or call in to our public health centers, to answer questions from residents and to collaborate with community partners such as school nurses and local clinics in order to coordinate the provision of services to residents. Thank you to all of our public health nurses for the work that you do every single day in serving our community and helping to keep our entire community safe. And you may remember last month we talked about National County Government Month, and we had created a video acknowledging this month, and it's a video that portrays some of the work that we've accomplished in our county during 2021. Unfortunately, technical difficulties prevented us from playing that video, so we're going to go ahead and show it now. The video is being shared across all of our digital and social media communication channels, and you can also view it there. So, let's go, Francisco. Well, thank you, and I hope that gives you all a sense of just some of the work that has gone on here in the county over the last year, and want to thank folks from all the different departments represented in that video, and I hope it gives you a sense of what your taxpayer dollars are going to support and fund in this county. And with that, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Lawrence.
Okay, thank you. I have two announcements today. First is an election update. The 2022 primary election will take place on Tuesday, May 17th. If you have not registered to vote for this primary, it is too late. The deadline was on Monday, and you can no longer change your registration either. Voters have three options to cast their ballot. You can vote by absentee ballot, mail-in ballot, or on election day in person. There is still time to request a mail-in or absentee ballot for the 2022 primary election, but you must do it by May 10th, 2022. And all voters who would like to vote by mail in 2022 need to complete an application, even if they have voted by mail in the past. Voters with approved applications should start to receive their mail-in ballots. I do want to say, too, that there's a third-party group that has been sending out completed applications. If voters get that application, you can just disregard that and throw that out. That does not come from the county or the Department of State. You can visit the Voter Services website at www.montcopa.org/vote-by-mail to apply online, downline, and print an application to mail to Voter Services, or make a request to have an application mailed to your home. And for all information about voting, including polling locations and drop box locations, please visit www.montcopa.org/voter services or contact Voter Services at 610-278-3280. I also want to acknowledge that today is the National Day of Prayer. The National Day of Prayer observance was created in 1952 by a joint resolution of Congress and signed into law by President Truman. Each year since then, the President has called upon the citizens of our nation to pray, and in 1988, President Reagan established this day of prayer to be the first Thursday of May. Today, we celebrate the role that the healing balm of prayer can play in our lives as we continue to front the crises and challenges of our time. Throughout our history, Americans of many religions and belief systems have turned to prayer for strength, hope, and guidance, and many incorporate prayer as a daily practice. The First Amendment to our Constitution protects the rights of free speech and religious liberty, including the right of all Americans to pray. These freedoms have helped us to create and sustain a nation of remarkable religious vitality and diversity across the generations. So now I'd like just to take a moment to pause, and we can acknowledge this day however you might like.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This week is also National Correctional Officers Appreciation Week. This week was established by President Ronald Reagan on May 5th, 1984, and the important work of correctional officers and prison staff often goes unnoticed and does not always receive the recognition that it deserves. Here in Montgomery County, our correctional facility, we employ 350 individuals, and here in Montgomery County, the state prison, SCI Phoenix Prison, employs 1,200 employees, and they monitor thousands of individuals. These courageous law enforcement professionals represent one of the most important components of America's criminal justice system. They ensure order, disrupt violent confrontations, and also work to help rehabilitate those who are incarcerated. They also, along with other correctional staff, exemplify professionalism, integrity, and strength in the face of a difficult and often dangerous work environment. Within local jails, state prisons, and federal penitentiaries, correction officers serve as a voice of authority while also ensuring their personal safety and the safety and welfare of those imprisoned and the staff there. In addition to maintaining order and safety, over the past couple of years, they've had the additional responsibility of helping to reduce the spread of COVID-19 within the prisons. Please join us in celebrating National Correctional Officers Week by extending your gratitude to the vital service and commitment to the duty of these individuals. We pray for their continued safety, and we appreciate all they do each and every day for Montgomery County and everyone they serve. Thank you.
We will now move on to public comment on matters appearing on today's agenda. Public comment on today's agenda. Mr. Stein, could you please read the rules for public comment?
Absolutely. Good morning. All speakers should sign in the meeting sheet available in the room, or if they are virtual, as indicated by Ms. Co-Francisco. All speakers should come to the podium if they are physically able. Speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. Under the law, all public comments must be relevant or germane to county business. This means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the commissioners for consideration, or which may come before the commissioners for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter is germane to county business is a determination to be made by the county solicitor. A time limit of 2 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, but the public is reminded this is not an opportunity for dialogues or questions and answers. The board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the meeting. As allowed by law, disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether a matter is germane to county business once the solicitor has made a determination of such, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to sit down, shall be grounds for removal or muting from the meeting without admonishment or warning. The commissioners always welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedbacks at commissioners@montgopa.org.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. Ms. Co-Francisco, anyone in the room we'll start with on today's agenda?
We have just general public comment today.
Okay, great. Then we will move on to general public comment, and we'll start with the folks in the room.
First, we have Barb Furman.
Good morning.
Barb Furman, New Hanover Township. We are not going to stop questioning the voter rolls unchecked and out of date. No excuse mail-in ballots, lack of process at the vote counting center, ballot harvesting and drop box locations that now have 24/7 access, counting and adjudication of ballots for days after the election. Honest, hardworking poll workers and elected judges of election, majority and minority inspectors are sincerely doing their jobs. Activities that destroy our election security are happening in spite of their efforts. I'm not accusing individuals. The system is broken. We all want every able legal voter to have their single vote by making their own effort to vote in person or obtain a legitimate absentee ballot and cast that ballot in person and or absentee prior to election so the results are final on election night, counted at their precincts, of which there are 426. Montgomery County received more than 1.5 million, and just like Philadelphia, from CTCL and Mark Zuckerberg, and those grants expected results. And we still have more questions than answers about drop boxes and the whole mail-in ballot counting process. Silence in these motions, is consent. This is a bad process. You should have to vote in the affirmative to consent. We, the people, will not remain silent. We do not consent. Thank you.
Next, we have Pauline Braccio.
Good morning, Pauline Braccio from Thomason Township. I am really confused as to why you keep insisting on people getting vaccinated with the COVID. It is really to the point where, it's just totally not necessary. I just want to tell you, there's a headline out of Australia. This was by the expose on April 7th. A record-breaking wave of COVID-19 across Australia sees deaths of 1,700% higher than the start of the pandemic. And the fully vaccinated account for 4 in every 5 of them. 80% of the people dying from COVID are fully vaccinated. The vaccine is not effective. It is certainly not safe if you look at the VAERS report. And if you listen to the CDC, which you're supposed to be listening to, even they are saying that there's more and more deaths in vaccinated people. Pfizer has now, and I'm not sure if it's Moderna or Johnson & Johnson, have also put out commercials saying that ivermectin and all those other drugs that they were against before because they want you to get their vaccine, they're now saying that that is the proper way to go. So I'm not sure why you want to waste the county's money and injure people at the same time. There are people who are going to be taken to task. Actually, you could be charged with crimes against humanity. I know that your whole thing here in Montgomery County, even after the governor said enough is enough, was an audition for Shapiro because you think he's going to win and you want to be the health secretary. God forbid. Thank you.
No, we'll move to online at this time. So again, if you are logged in via Zoom, we ask that you please use the raise your hand feature and we'll call on you in order. First, we have Kim Henderson. You just can unmute yourself.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me? Wonderful, thank you. Good morning, Kim Henderson, East Norton Township. First, on this National Day of Prayer, I ask Heavenly Father, we welcome you into our public buildings once again on this day of national prayer. We ask we'll make decisions in your name to benefit all people for the best of humanity. And we ask forgiveness for all the wrongdoings that we've seen across this country of all people. We the people demand transparency, interaction, and response to the concerns we take the time to attend these meetings and raise. While you state that you do not have to respond during our 2-minute public comment, we do and have requested public question and answer segment to the meetings. I know I've personally asked for them several times over the last meetings, and I do want to put on the agenda. Meeting after meeting, you award grants of all kinds without consulting with your constituents. During the April 27th meeting, there was a small segment about public housing being brought into the county. I was looking for more information on this and was unable to find it. I would like more information on this and time to be able to research and know just more about it. Ronald Reagan once said that the worst words to hear is, I'm the government and I'm here to help. So I'd like to know more information about that and how our funds are being used. Lastly, I'd like to comment on the elections. We demand Dropbox protocol. We will be at the Board of Elections meeting tomorrow, and I hope you bring that forward. And I'd like to recommend to everyone to please go to 2000mules.com and look at the election problems we had. Thank you.
Last call for online public comment. Okay.
All right. Thank you. We will move on to approval of the minutes. I will move to approve the April 21st, 2022 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, so moving on to big acknowledgements. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month, and this morning we have Pam Howard and Abby Grasso. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here today in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, oops, Kelly, did I do that? Okay. I think that you all know that one of the things I like to do is to come here this month to talk about mental wellness. It's fabulous that we have this month as a reminder. It's sort of similar, maybe I kind of think about it to the way at New Year's, people make new plans about what they're going to do during the year. Tax time, people do a little thinking about, oh, how am I spending my money? Think about their financial wellness. Mental Health Awareness Month is a nice time to sort of take a step back and think about plans to promote your mental wellness and that of your family. My co-theme this year is Together for Mental Health, and I cannot think of a better way for all of us come together than for all of us to spend a little time, perhaps this weekend, thinking about promoting your mental wellness. The nice thing is a lot of it are things that we already know how to do. And it also is connected to your physical health as well. It's things like getting good sleep, eating healthy, exercise, getting out on our trails. I see that's on the agenda today. That's a nice little connection to make. Getting out in green spaces. You can also do things like learning about mindfulness techniques and deep breathing. There's great info on the internet, great apps out there that help remind us to do these things too. Another way in which we can come together for mental health is ensuring that there's a system of care for our fellow Montco residents who are struggling with their mental wellness or have complex challenges, often connected to trauma. This is becoming more and more difficult because the dollars that we are allocated from the state have not increased, and they have not had a cost of living increase since 2008. Using an inflation calculator, if you can picture a pie chart, that means that we have 34% less purchasing power. A 34% slice is cut out of the purchasing power that we have to serve some of our most vulnerable residents. These dollars are spent on things that insurance does not cover: residential services, crisis services, supports for people who are homeless, and student assistance programs. We're looking at data from students across our county, and by their own self-reports, a great many of our kids are struggling. We want to be able to assist in meeting their mental health needs. I think that you know too, commissioners, that I like to come here and I like to tell people, when in doubt, reach out. There's help out there. And we work hard for there to be one number to call in Montgomery County if you don't know how to access that help. That's our mobile crisis number. The number is 855-634-4673. The last four numbers spell out hope. The pandemic has hit the mental health field very hard in terms of staffing challenges, similar and I think in some ways greater than other sectors. We've been working strategically with providers about recruiting and retaining staff, but that's another reason I really like to encourage people to reach out early. We don't want people to have to wait too long to get into care. May is the time of year that we celebrate and we honor the challenges, the hard work, and the amazing journey of recovery that many folks here in Montgomery County experience. It's also a time of year that it is so important to express the incredible gratitude that we have for all of the Montgomery County mental health provider organizations and the staff for all they do to promote those journeys, especially since it's nursing. We're creating awareness about nursing, the nurses that work in the mental health field. And with that, I'm going to introduce to you Abby Grasso, Executive Director of the Montgomery County chapter of the Alliance on Mental Illness, who is one of those hardworking people.
Thank you so much, Pam. Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, county staff, and my fellow Montgomery County residents. As Pam shared, my name is Abby Grasso, and I have a really big privilege of overseeing our local affiliate of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. We work to help people impacted by mental health challenges or severe mental illness live their best life through support, education, awareness, and advocacy. So I like to celebrate, and this year we celebrate 73 years of Mental Health Awareness Month. Since 1949, communities have been coming together to increase the importance of mental wellness and also acknowledging mental health challenges. During May, we all have a tremendous opportunity to celebrate the strides that have been made to promote mental health and increase our public's awareness and knowledge about resources and how those resources can provide benefit and impact to their life. But more importantly, it's a time for us to join together to advocate to continue improving our mental health system. Why does mental health matter? Because it impacts all of us. 5 in 5 of us live with our mental health. We know that 1 in 5 people, and these are data points from NAMI National, 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness in each year. More importantly, less than half of them are getting the supports that could help them live their best life. 1 in 20 U.S. adults experience a serious mental illness, and 2/3 of those individuals are not receiving treatment.
As Pam brought up, our youth are impacted so greatly right now with overwhelming pressures, isolation from the pandemic, as well as normal developmental struggles. And we know that 1 in 6 of our youth are impacted by mental health, and only half of them are receiving treatment. 50% of lifetime mental illnesses begin by the age of 14, and 75% by the age of 24. I think the most startling data statistic that I saw this year from NAMI National is that 55% of US counties do not have a single practicing psychiatrist. This is who we're supposed to go to for support. This is who we're supposed to go to get help, and we don't have those supports available. Right now, today, let's start talking about our mental health like we talk about our physical health. We don't struggle to tell people when we're struggling physically. So why do we struggle to tell people when we're struggling emotionally? So let's talk about how we can do this better. We need to educate ourselves about mental health conditions, educate ourselves in how we can support people. Sometimes it's sitting with people in raw, vulnerable moments. We don't always have to have the answers. Oftentimes we don't, but it's sitting people and saying, this is really hard for you. I can see that. I'm just so glad you told me. It's using the numbers like our Montgomery County Mobile Crisis Team so that we can connect people. Connection provides hope and help. It provides opportunity for people to feel heard. And when we give people help, we're giving them hope. When we support people, they feel connected. When we educate people, they feel knowledgeable and they feel empowered to make good decisions for their life and the life of their loved ones. Lastly, through advocacy efforts, we can increase our mental health supports in our community. As Pam brought up money, block dollars come from our state government. We all have legislators that we can go visit and explain the importance of mental health and why we need to have services in our community. Nothing keeps me up at night more than someone who calls NAMI and says, I'm living with a lot of challenges right now. I called a provider and they told me it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. Friends, it took them 6 to 8 weeks to make that initial call, to put themselves first, to be vulnerable, and to make that connection with someone. And we should not have people waiting 6 to 8 weeks to have treatment. We wouldn't do that for physical health. So please call your legislators, advocate for money so that our mental health systems are more strong and provide opportunity. As we come full circle with the connection, the acknowledgement, we know that we're all together for mental health. So as we think about joining together, Kelly's been kind enough to share events happening during Mental Health Awareness Month. Last night, Temple Ambler campus hosted a wonderful screening and panel discussion with a young woman who was a suicide attempt survivor. And it was amazing. We had about 150 people there. It may rain on Saturday, but we will be dancing in the rain and celebrating at NAMI's NAMI Walks at Temple Ambler campus to walk for mental health awareness. We have a Paper Spiders viewing party, and something, if you've never been to it, the 9th annual Community Support Program and 44th annual Mental Health Awards ceremony is a huge celebration of wellness and recovery in our community. Again, courthouse will be green. I won't go over all of them. NAMI is also offering a ribbon campaign and a coaster campaign. So if you'd like to put ribbons on your home, if you'd like to have ribbons adorning your business to welcome people and letting people know that you are open to mental wellness, just contact our NAMI office. And we're very, very thankful for the opportunity to be here to talk about Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you.
Well, thank you both. I am so proud of the work that our Department of Behavioral Health does under Ms. Pam Howard's leadership, and of course for our community partners like NAMI. It is working together that we are able to get what we get done in this county accomplished. And I just want to add a couple of comments and underscore some of the things that you both mentioned. First, it's a physician, I can't overstate the importance of prevention and acknowledging and just ignoring the stigma that unfortunately our society has around mental health challenges, and get help when you need it and get help early. You know, conditions are all treatable, and we just have to get people connected to the right folks to be able to do that. It's why we have supported the fact that here in Montgomery County, we have one telephone number that people can call 24 hours a day. And that number, again, for our mobile crisis team is 855-634-4673. A person can call this number about themselves, about a family member, about a friend. And you will get trained professionals that will come to you quickly and do their best to assist, get you connected to treatment. One of the best things that's come out of this work is the strong partnerships that have developed between the mobile crisis team and our local police departments. And the police now regularly call these folks, and it is a much more appropriate response to connect someone to treatment rather than to arrest them or incarcerate them. And so we've been really pleased to see how that has grown. You both acknowledge the mental health needs among students, and that has been growing rapidly, particularly during, and after the COVID-19 pandemic. And one thing that Pam didn't mention was an important grant that her department secured to expand services through our student assistance program to elementary schools. It was a $475,000 grant, and it is allowing staff training and certification in evidence-based programming. It is free to our elementary schools that are participating, and it's just another tool that we can put in place in our local elementary schools, and one that is obviously really needed right now. So none of these services that you heard about today exist without state funding. And I just want to put an exclamation point under everything that Pam mentioned about the cuts that the counties across our Commonwealth have undergone over the last decade. She did mention that since 2007, there has been not a single cost of living increase to the county governments to provide mental health services that are not covered by private health insurance. In fact, private health insurance, I'm sure many of you know, cover very little when it comes to mental health services. If we had had just a regular cost of living increase here in this county since that 2007 budget, Montgomery County alone would have approximately an additional $7 to $8 million a year to spend on mental health services in this county, just with a cost of living increase. That has never come. And additionally, back in 2012, the state did just an across the board to every county in the Commonwealth, 10% cut in mental health funding. Here in Montgomery County, that was a $3 million cut that has never been restored. So these are the challenges that we've been facing. Our community partners who are providing services across our county are competing with Amazon to pay a wage to people with master's degrees and extensive training, when those same folks can go to Amazon and get a job that pays more. These are like the very real problems that we're facing. So what can you do? You can get on the phone, get on your email, and call your state representative, your state senator, and Governor Wolf. Because Governor Wolf, I'm very happy to say, has proposed a $36 million increase in the fiscal year 2023 budget. That was the budget that starts this July 1st, of $36 million that would be distributed proportionately across counties in our state for mental health funding. It is critical that that funding, that proposed funding, actually gets included in next year's budget. And you can help ensure that that happens by reaching out, state representative, your state senator, and to Governor Wolf's office, and let them know that this is something that you care about and that we really need. So thank you both so much, ladies. And any other comments?
Thank you both for being here. It's wonderful to see you both. You both have taught me so much about these issues. You guys should have like a podcast or.
Fun.
We should have a podcast. That would be great.
Don't give us ideas. I was going to say that's next on the
I would
list.
be the first one to sign up. Abby, I love what you said, connection provides you. That really hit me.
Thank you.
But thank you guys for what you do, not just this month, but every day. And I know you guys care passionately about the work that you do. We appreciate you.
Ms. Howard, Ms. Grasso, I'd also like to thank you for being a key component to communication between law enforcement, school districts, hospitals, members of the community that are in need. I know not only those individuals in need appreciate what you do, but also their families and loved ones. So thank you for today's update.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you so much.
And thank you all of you for all of your support.
Thank you. All right. It is also Older Americans Month, and we have Jennifer Barnhart from our Office of Senior Services who will be telling us about those activities. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm just trying to share my screen. I have a few slides for us.
Well, while you're doing that, I just want to officially welcome you to your first commissioners meeting. Ms. Barnhart joined us a few months ago, and it's great to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you all. My name is Jennifer Barnhart. I'm the new administrator of the Montgomery County Office of Senior Services within the Department of Health and Human Services. And as I said, I'm so grateful to be here with you all, and I'd like to thank the commissioners for having me and bringing recognition to Older Americans Month and the work that's happening every day in senior services. Older Americans Month is observed and led every year by the Administration for Community Living and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This year's theme is Age My Way, an opportunity for us to explore the many ways that older adults can remain in and be involved in their communities. The theme is fitting as it overlaps with one of our Office of Senior Service goals, which is to assist seniors with aging in their homes and communities for as long as they're able. The department, through our team and network of contracted community providers, offers programs and services to support older adults in aging their way. In that spirit, I'd like to share some data regarding our older adult population and how senior services provide supports. So as you can see, we have just under 200,000 seniors in Montgomery County, with the total population of women being greater than older men by 12%. And as demonstrated in this slide, we have a variety of seniors that have a variety of needs that range from ambulatory, independent living, cognitive, and self-care. The Office of Senior Services aims to connect seniors to resources that will help them live as independently as possible for as long as possible. Perhaps our first duty in the Office of Senior Services is to protect our most vulnerable seniors from abuse, neglect, exploitation, and abandonment. This can also include self-neglect due to cognitive decline or unaddressed mental health challenges. Last year, we received 1,507 reports of need, and each time we provided an in-depth evaluation of that person's overall health and wellness. Reports of need assessments often require our response within 24 hours. And throughout the pandemic, virtual evaluations were allowed. At this time, in-person evaluations are preferred and encouraged. And here are some of our additional services that we provide. Adult daycare centers are safe, supervised environments for older adults and adults with dementia-related conditions. Seniors can receive personal care, nursing services, and meals. And this community-based alternative to institutionalization also acts as a reliable source of support for caregivers. Care management helps ensure the individual's needs are being met. This includes coordination of nutrition, their environment, or assistance with household chores. Some seniors just need the support of a personal emergency response system in case of a fall or other emergency that needs immediate assistance. Personal care connects seniors to care attendants to help with things such as bathing, dressing, grocery shopping, or prescription pickup. Congregate meals are usually hot meals served in a communal setting where seniors can interact and have access to healthy nutrition. Because of COVID restrictions, during most of this time period, grab-and-go packaged meals have been used as a substitute and has also become quite a popular option among seniors. In-home meals are nutritionally based meals, and they're delivered directly to seniors' homes. Our assessment unit assesses seniors for their ability to perform independent activities of daily living and for their eligibility to participate in the Medicaid waiver program. We use the functional eligibility determination tool and also complete desk reviews. Desk reviews help us make redeterminations of eligibility for receiving Medicaid waiver services. Waiver services waive Medicaid requirements for nursing home eligibility, and it allows seniors to receive the same services in their homes and communities. And our enrollment unit enrolls seniors in programs including caregiver support, home-delivered meals, options, and Medicaid waiver. This unit works closely with the Office of Community Connections, and we often refer seniors between our offices in Health and Human Services to ensure that all their needs are met. We also work closely with our Veterans Affairs Office, meeting every other week to discuss at-risk veterans with varying needs. Our senior centers provide information and assistance to seniors, socialization, exercise, and recreation programs. They offer classes for things such as healthy steps, chronic disease self-management, nutrition education, and also Tai Chi for arthritis, along with many other programs. This slide shows our 10 contracted senior centers and also visualizing pockets of poverty as well. In addition to providing the opportunity to socialize and participate in recreation and educational programs, senior centers provide free hot lunches. Senior poverty is a significant issue, and we're continuing to evaluate how to best serve all of our residents while taking need into account. The Office of Senior Services also administers a variety of other programs, some of which are listed on this slide. Others that aren't listed are HIV prevention, food resources, transportation, information and assistance outreach, legal aid, and PA Medi, or Medicare counseling. And our office also sponsors community events. And two of the events that I'll talk about today overlap with Older Americans Month. The first is the Montgomery County Centenarian Celebration. The event will be held virtually on May 11th, and the program will include interviews with centenarians, reading of names, and statements of support by senior facility representatives. Denise Pottinger is the contact person for this event, and I listed her contact information on this slide. And then the second sponsored event that I wanted to talk about that is this month is our Senior Games. The event will be held in person for the first time since 2019, and it's run by the Plymouth Township Parks and Recreation Department. It takes place all next week, Monday through Friday, with lunches provided at Normandy Farms Hotel and Conference Center. And more information about the Senior Games can be found by emailing montcoseniorgames@gmail.com. And once again, I just wanted to thank the commissioners and everyone for your time and your interest in supporting our seniors, not only during Older Americans Month, but all year round. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Ms. Barnhart. That was a great summary of the work that you and your team do, and we are so grateful for it. And I know that these two events, the Centenarian Luncheon and the Senior Games, are just so popular across our county, and that I've run into all kinds of people, particularly for the Senior Games, that are looking forward to participating this year. So thank you for that. And just for anyone listening out there who wasn't aware of all the services that are available and would like to learn more about them, or perhaps see if they could get those services, what's the best way to reach out to the office?
The best way to reach out to the office, I listed my information. You can send me an email, or my phone number is also on the slide. Should I go back to that and read it out loud?
Yeah, you can just maybe say it one more time for everybody.
Sure. My email is jbarnhart@montcopa.org. And you can reach me also via phone at 610-278-3592.
Ms. Barnhart, welcome to Montgomery County, and please extend our thanks to your team. Commissioner Arcocha and I saw some of them the other day. We were able to visit, but you've hit the ground running, and thank you for the update.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I will certainly let them know of your appreciation.
Ms. Barnhart, I also wish you well in your new position, and thank you for today's update. I also look forward to all the celebrations we have to celebrate the accomplishments and service over many decades that our seniors have contributed to our society, and particularly the games. I always lose the competitions to the seniors. I'm always impressed with their skill sets. So the competitive nature of it's fun. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're glad they're coming back this year, and that it'll be in person. So
Yes.
thank you.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, next up, it's Mako Trail Challenge time, and Christy Goodwin, our Community Health Program Manager, is going to be telling us about this year's Trail Challenge.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to begin our 7th year of the Montgomery Trail Challenge. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay. All right, so thank you again for having me. The 7th annual Montgomery Trail Challenge is set to begin this Saturday, May 7th, and it runs for 7 months, so it will end on December 4th. If anyone is new to the Trail Challenge, it's a great way to be physically active, to explore the county, and just have fun. It's free and it's open to all ages. Every year we have a number of infants all the way up to seniors in their late 70s and 80s. So it's really open to everyone. The Trail Challenge is like a scavenger hunt. We have 15 participating trails and parks, and each one has their own unique symbol, like pictured here. It'll be some type of animal. And the goal is to visit as many parks and trails as somebody can between the months of May and December. And then we have 3 achievement levels. So people can earn a prize if they do 5 trails, 10 trails, or if they do 15 or more. Each year, we ask participants for their feedback, and we truly listen to it, and we try to keep the challenge evolving. This year, we are proud to work with Wissahickon Trails to offer the full length of the Wissahickon Green Ribbon Trail. We've offered the Wissahickon Green Ribbon Trail in the past, but only the 3 miles maintained by the county. So this year, we'll have about 10 miles of additional natural terrain to offer our participants. We've also increased our number of free spaces from 2 to 3. And a free space just allows somebody to write in any other park or trail or historic site that they visit, either in the county or outside of the county. So this way, if they have a local park they already visit to get exercise, they're allowed to count that. If they're on vacation and they happen to visit a park or a trail, they can count that and gain credit towards completing the number of trails as well. So with the 3 free spaces, that brings the total possible number of parks or trails to 18 this year. And then also exciting this year is that we have community art days planned, and that will bring me to talking about Saturday. We have a Trail Challenge kickoff and community art day. It's planned for this Saturday at the Trail Junction Center in Norristown. So in partnership with Parks, Trails, and Historic Sites and the Montgomery County Planning Commission, our Office of Public Health has received additional funding from the state to work with local artists to install art along the section of the Schuylkill River Trail. So on Saturday, should the weather hold out, we have local art groups, Brush with the Law and Expressive Path, that will help post art activities for the community to take part in. And they'll also collect input on art ideas for the trail. So we really want the community to feel a sense of connectedness to the trail, and hope that this will be one way of doing so. We'll also have other vendors. We'll have a bike helmet distribution, a smoothie bike, and the Farm Explorer provided by Greener Partners. It should really be a fun day, and everyone is welcome to attend. So the time is from 9 to 12 on Saturday. We do have a rain date, and that will be June 4th. So you might just want to mark your calendar in case the weather doesn't change, and we'll make a call on the weather by tomorrow morning. So thank you again for providing this time to speak about the challenge and your continued support of this program. A registration for the Trail Challenge is open, and anyone who's interested in learning more, or if they just want to sign up, they can visit our website, montcopa.org/Trail Challenge. And any questions they have can be sent to trailchallenge@montcopa.org. And then a final note is that this initiative is made possible through the PA Department of Help's Preventative Health and Health Services Block Grant. So thank you.
Christy, I get to go first since I am a 5-time trailblazer, trail
Just wanted
champion.
to let him get that out.
And as you know, the first year I completed, I was the second person in the county to complete it.
Yes.
Next year with my wife, third year with the boys. I've lost the boys. This year I'm doing it with my mother. So it is National
Wow.
Day of Prayer. Pray for both of us. But Christy, I received a hat in the mail that said Monco Trail Challenge on it. Did everyone in the county receive that hat? Did all commissioners receive that hat? Or can you just explain who received the hat, the green hat for Monco Trail
Yeah.
Challenge?
So we have a program this year for trail ambassadors. So we had asked anyone who had participated in the past in the Monco Trail Challenge last year if they would be willing to be an ambassador. So we've asked, we have 29 people that are helping us to promote the Trail Challenge online and within their community. We know that although we promote it on social media and within some organizations we have contacts with, that we're not fully reaching everyone that there is in the county, and that we already have people that are passionate about the Trail Challenge. And so we're asking them to help us reach out and just spread the word.
So if I receive that hat, I am an ambassador then?
Yes.
Okay. 29 out of 600,000 residents in Montgomery County, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Small
Thank you.
definite.
All right. We'll see you on the trails.
Got to start somewhere.
See you on the trails.
Well, Christy, thanks so much. This is terrific. And every year I aspire to finish, and I never do, but maybe this will be the year. So thank you so much for keeping this going. I remember in the very first year we did this, we really had no idea how it was going to go over or how many people would participate. And it really has exceeded our wildest expectations from those early days. So thank you so much. And again, I just want to tie back to Ms. Howard's presentation at the top of this part of the meeting, that what a great, easy, free way just to get outside. Just a few minutes outside every day in green spaces has a tremendously positive impact on how we feel and our well-being. So I hope everybody takes good advantage of this. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. We know from a SurveyMonkey that we put out each year. Last year, we had 91% of participants say that they were able to improve their mental health by participating in the Trail Challenge. So it definitely does link to mental health.
That's great.
Ms. Goodwin, thank you for joining us today. I'm a one-time Monco Trail Challenge finisher. I guess that makes me a trailblazer as well. But I highly encourage everyone to participate and get out while the weather's nice on our trail network we have across Montgomery County. And these fun type of activities is a good way to get families involved with being outdoors and enjoying what we have to offer in Montgomery County. So thank you for promoting it.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
And hopefully we'll see you on Saturday if the rain
I hope
holds
so.
up. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, Mr. Bonner. The Recovery Office had a very busy weekend. Mr. Bonner is here this morning to give us an update on the American Rescue Plan Act.
Thank you, Commissioner Arkush. That is correct on both counts about the weekend and why we're here today. I'm Tom Bonner. I'm the Recovery Officer of Montgomery County. I am here this morning to provide an update on the process for the American Rescue Plan Act state and local fiscal recovery funds allocation to Montgomery County called the Pandemic Recovery Fund. So Ms. Co-Francisco and I are going to do this thing where we click together. That's my fault. Just to set the stage, as we do every time we speak about this, the funding we are referring to is the allocation directly to Montgomery County as promulgated in the American Rescue Plan Act legislation of March 2021, amounting to a total of $161.4 million. To be clear, this does not include any money allocated to the state of Pennsylvania or to other programs at Montgomery County through the same legislation. We are referring to this $161.4 million as the Pandemic Recovery Funds, and the process which you will hear this update about refers to that program. We have engaged in a process of a community. Let me rephrase that. We continue to be a part of a process of community engagement that stretches as far back as August of 2021. When I say continue, Since February 1st, and this is, if anything, an undercount, we have conducted over 30 meetings across our community, and by community I mean community groups, NAACP chapters, our nonprofit partners, our fellow county agencies. When I say we, I mean a broad group that includes certainly our recovery office staff, it includes our Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, it includes many of you. We have done this to be sure that all sectors of Montgomery County feel aware and empowered to participate in this process. Next click, please. We have provided, as you know from previous updates, a technical assistant contract awarded through the county's procurement process to the Pennsylvania Health Access Network and their consortium of providers. We now can report that that technical assistance contractor affected 36% of the overall submissions, providing help to 154 submitters in that submitted projects through our process. As you know, just to reiterate, the submission process was open for 60 days, beginning on March 1st and ending on April 30th, 2022. And through that process, we collected 426 projects, requesting $1.32 billion for the $161.4 million that we received. We also collected 159 ideas through this process. To reiterate something that we've explained before, but I just want to talk through this for a second, we deliberately built this process to be able to collect both projects and ideas. And again, as the name implies, a project can be thought of as something that has a financial request with it, has a fully fledged plan, whereas an idea can be something that expresses a priority and is an indication of where a community wants the county to direct these funds. As you can see from the graphic that's on the screen, the yellow bars represent projects received and the blue ones represent ideas. In keeping with my general way of doing all business, everyone waited until the last 2 days of this submission period. We received 304 project submissions between April 29th and April 30th. This is what words that we've used are certainly a robust, a stunning response, something that we are extremely excited to have received. It obviously does represent not an insignificant amount of work, but it does represent certainly an achievement in that we are, at its purest form, just happy we have gotten this much interest. And they are good projects. We can just click forward, please. We have achieved diverse countywide geographic distribution. This graphic here that you see here, and I don't know if you can tell from the screen, but each of those circles are darker or lighter depending on how many proposals we received from each area. In the legislation that authorizes the American Rescue Plan Act, and specifically the state and local fiscal recovery funds, part of the eligibility criteria requires us to focus on qualified census tracts. In Montgomery County, there are 2 areas that comprise qualified census tract, one in Norristown and one in Pottstown. What you can see here at the bottom is we received 67 project submissions focusing on Norristown alone, comprising $146 million. We received 40 projects focusing on Pottstown alone, comprising $135 million. I mention this for 2 reasons. One, because again, we are very pleased with that result, and as should all of us be. But also because the work that we have in front of us, and you'll hear about this in a minute, is, among other things, to make sure that we are consolidating, working with the people that submitted those projects to effectuate as much success as we can through the funding we have. Obviously, $1.3 billion is many, many more dollars than $161 million. But the intent of this process was to identify those ideas and those projects that represent the highest, best use of those funds. And so to have this level of distribution, this level of participation, and this level of what I'm going to call compliance with the directives of what the legislation required is certainly a good problem to have. I want to actually just pause here for a second and say, given that success, there is credit to be given to the staff of the Recovery Office. This did not exist. This whole process did not exist 3 months ago. And so building, to borrow an analogy, building the plane while we're flying it could not be better exemplified here. So just very quickly, the staff of the Recovery Office, including Eli Gilman, Melanie Dickerson, Valerie Vellon, Ashton Dwyer, Emma Hertz. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention Deputy Chief Operating Officer Barbara Malley, who pushed on the community participation side of this extensively. And again, continuing the thanks to our contract technical assistance provider, who engaged in multiple levels across the board to bring in people and make sure that we have eliminated barriers to submissions. And finally, to our community partners, which also include our county colleagues, because many of the people, for instance, that are listed in the mental health presentation and the trail challenge presentation, they partner with community partners that were then brought to bear on this process and assisted us in reaching all corners. Every single one of these people has been indispensable in connecting this effort to a broad Montgomery County community, including different languages, different people, and different locations. However, and Kelly, if we can go to the next piece, make no mistake, this is but a very early milestone in a very long trail, to borrow the theme of the day. We are only at the beginning. This process that is now completed for submissions really just enables the best part of this work and the hardest part, which is to decide what we're going to do with these funds and then to actually implement the projects that we're funding. From this point, here is how we will be working over the next several months. First and foremost, Recovery Office staff will complete our initial reviews of all the project submissions. We will ask questions of submitters. We will go back and forth, and have already started doing this work extensively, making sure we're getting more information from both our county colleagues, subject matter experts, from our community partners, and from the people who submitted these ideas themselves. We are vetting these projects, and then they go on to scoring by an independent review panel. Our independent review panel is 30 people across the community. They have come to us through a process by which they have applied, and we have accepted their applications. They will score each project that is referred by the Recovery Office. And then after scoring, projects will be considered by the county for inclusion into the recovery plan. By recovery plan, I simply mean the list of all the projects that will be funded using the $161.4 million of pandemic recovery funds. That draft recovery plan will be circulated for public feedback. Given that work, and this is posted on our website today, we will increase our outreach as we go to update people. We plan on no less than a once weekly basis to make sure that we're keeping people abreast of the process. We have adjusted our planned timeline, as it says here, for this work, given the volume of submissions that received. Just to be clear, we had planned on somewhere between 100 and 175 submissions, so we are extremely happy to have been wrong, but we were significantly wrong. By May 27th, we plan to have all of the initial project reviews complete inside the Recovery Office. By June 10th, we plan that the review panel will have scored all projects. We will be posting all scores on the Recovery Office webpage by June 10th of June 2022, and we will be communicating individually with every person who submitted something. June 24th to July 8th, this time frame that's on here, is the time frame during which we will publish the draft recovery plan for community feedback. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are at the beginning of this presentation, we are at the beginning of this process. And part of the community engagement strategy that has always existed from the onset of the Recovery Office is to be sure that we are collecting public feedback in a meaningful way on the draft recovery plan. So that period of time will take us through July 28th. We will incorporate that feedback, and then the plan is to, at the July 22nd meeting, adopt the final recovery plan. And that will take us from this point to the part that is, again, still a lot of work, which is to start all of the work. So beginning in early August, late July, we start the project implementation period, whereby all of the work that is funded gets done, compliance requirements are met. We are engaging directly in the Recovery Office with assisting, whether they're county offices or whether they're independent community partners, making sure that that work can get done within the time frame, which again, just as a reminder, needs to be fully liquidated by the end, funds need to be fully liquidated by the end of December 2026. And that is what I have for an update. Happy to answer any questions.
Great, well, thank you. This is going to be a pretty daunting undertaking by the team, but it's exciting that we've had this kind of robust response, and a real testament to the work that everybody did to get out to every corner of this community, and I'm really, really grateful for that. And very excited to see what comes out of this. And as I've already had some conversations with folks I've run into over the weekend, you know, obviously we can't fund all of these projects. We just don't have the money. But we will make every effort to engage other funders in our county, our elected officials, both federally and at the state level, for community grants that they might be able to put towards some of these projects, and that, you know, we will do everything we can to help connect anybody that's got a great project that we just don't have enough money for with someone who might be able to at least help with part of that funding. So hopefully, when this is all said and done, you know, we will have been able to connect and help a lot of great folks out there who've submitted some really solid ideas.
Absolutely, and I actually, just to echo that, Commissioner Arkush, that process that you're speaking about, of making sure that the inventory of things were received. Of course, we cannot fund $1 billion worth of projects with only 160 million. The intent is exactly what you've outlined, to be sure that we have a database of scored, vetted ideas and projects that represent the interests of the community, so that whether it's philanthropic funders, other county departments, future funding rounds from different grant programs, we can tap into this inventory that we have and start to flesh out these other things. So again, my only point in emphasizing this is that what we are creating in making sure that things are posted and transparent and available is the ability to do that for years to come with this inventory project we received.
And then I do have one request for the team, not urgent, but at some point, I'd love to see an analysis of the 136 projects that received technical assistance.
Sure.
So we can learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there are ways that going forward, we can offer, you know, opportunities for people to learn about how to apply grants, whatever it was. I'd just be really curious to know what help they needed. And so hopefully that can better inform our process going forward as well.
Absolutely. And we do have, you know, as you know, it's certainly a productive relationship with the contractor, and they are perfectly transparent as far as what they're sharing with us, and absolutely we can produce that report.
Tom, your team did an incredible job on outreach, clearly by the number of submissions that came in, so congratulations on that. One thing I want to clarify, some of our local municipalities got ARPA funding as well, which is separate from ours. I think you mentioned state, but I just want to clarify that too, that some municipalities have ARPA funding too that's not in our fund.
And that is a great point, Commissioner Lawrence. One of the pieces of what we will do in speaking with municipalities, that we have some municipalities that submitted projects on their own. So part of the dialogue is to understand, first, when we actually know this, but did you get an allocation directly from ARPA to your municipality? What did you spend it on, and how does this funding augment, not supplant, the efforts that you already have underway? So absolutely, I'm mentioning that simply because built into the process is an emphatic agreement that to make sure we're not double counting the same type of initiative, that we're hopefully expanding things that people have applied for and they're already funding under other allocations. But absolutely, you are correct. There are individual allocations to maybe not all of the 62 municipalities. There are also, just to take it a step further, individual allocations germane to school districts, the 21 school districts across the county. Again, all independent of this, but we want to be sure that we're accounting for all three of those funds, among others, as we go.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, just have a question. You mentioned the 30-person review team. How do they apply to be on that review team? And also, what role do they have in making the decisions, as far as is it a majority vote or 2/3 majority vote?
Sure. So I think generally the review panels came from sort of a broad call across the community, and they were able to click through, you know, and submit their information, profile information, and we actually, again, got a much more robust response than we could actually. We only have spots for 30 people at this point.
So that application process was advertised?
Correct. The process, as far as scoring goes, this is, and the scoring system is posted on our website, but the scoring system itself is what I'm going to say objective, meaning that each individual reviewer is scoring proposals individually. They are entering numeric scores according to the scoring rubric that's posted. And so that is, all of those scores are then aggregated together to deliver the final project score.
By ranking?
Correct. I mean, like what we will have at the end of that is every project will have a scoring report that is based on the input of those reviewers.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Mr. Sulpicia?
Thank you. Yeah, just a real quick acknowledgement. Thomas sitting in his lane of humility in describing the recovery office's work, but I just want to acknowledge, I'll call it relentless commitment process. And obviously the results are clear, but we don't get there without a process that's in place. And, you know, as we, as an organization, are learning through our DEI work that, you know, often the easy way to conduct the process is very often not the equitable way. So the commitment from the beginning of this process throughout, and which still and I think has been critical. And you noted this was built from the ground up, but we did it. You all did it the way government can work and should work. And I think, like I said, relentlessly sticking to those values-based principles throughout this process, and, you know, intentionally being inclusive throughout, taking the feedback and adjusting where we needed to, I think is what led to this, you know, really robust response. And so I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the work you guys have done. Very much looking forward to really this roadmap of good ideas.
Appreciate it.
Great. All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks to your team. Okay, we have two resolutions today. Both will be presented by Mr. Stein. The first is adoption of Montgomery County's Emergency Operations Plan.
Yes, thank you. Under the PA Emergency Management Services Code, political subdivisions such as counties are authorized and encouraged to take steps to plan for emergencies and catastrophic situations. Under that, the county has developed an emergency operations plan, which outlines how the county will respond in the event of an emergency. The plan has the policies and concepts that guide the county and how it will assist municipalities, facilities, and agencies that are impacted by hazards. The plan also summarizes county responsibilities, planning assumptions, response operations, and recovery actions. Under the law, this needs to be promulgated, and in this instance, we're going to promulgate it through the resolution and posting this publicly.
All right, thank you. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby adopt the most recent version of the Montgomery County Emergency Operations Plan, which shall be executed if the need arises. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next, we have the Hurricane Ida Disaster Declaration Extension.
Yes, also under the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Services Code. It has now been almost 8 months since Hurricane Ida hit Montgomery County. As we have done every 60 days since then, we have issued a disaster declaration, which allows us to circumvent certain requirements under the law in order to be able to respond to that. As we are still dealing with the fallout from that in both property and the lives that have been touched by this, it is recommended that we re-up this for another 60 days.
Thank you. I will move that we, the undersigned commissioners of Montgomery County, pursuant to the provisions of Section 7501 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Services Code as amended, do hereby declare the existence of a disaster emergency in Montgomery County. Be it further resolved that we direct the Montgomery County Department of Public Safety to coordinate the activities of the emergency response, to take all appropriate action needed to alleviate the effects of this disaster, to aid in the restoration of essential public services, and to take any other emergency response action deemed necessary to respond to this disaster emergency. This declaration shall take effect May 9th, 2022, and last for a period of 60 days. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Ms. Perdue, personnel list.
Good morning, Commissioners. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Commissioners Department's personnel list. It is a 3-page document dated Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, with a timestamp of 9:30 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for consideration.
Thank you. I will move to approve the May 5th, 2022 personnel presentation as given by Director of Human Resources, Ms. Donna Perdue, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Ms. O'Malley, advertisements of a bid and an RFP.
Yes, we have a bid on behalf of Public Safety for warehouse shelving. The successful responder will provide shelving and installation services for the new Public Safety Warehouse building. Contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 2, an RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for construction inspection services. The successful responder will provide full-time on-site construction oversight and inspection during the placement of County Bridge Number 6 located on Mill Creek Road over Mill Creek in Lower Marion Township. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. All RFPs and bids are available on the county's purchasing website at www.montcopa.org/purchasing.
Thank you. I will move to approve, excuse me, the preceding request for the advertisement of a bid and an RFP as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Awards the contract for the county.
Yes, 1, contract award, Assets and Infrastructure, Engineering, Bergman Associates of Rochester, New York, $25,650. Contract provides a Phase 1 feasibility study for the Peter Wentz Farmstead Observation Area and Trail. Engineering services available from the pre-approved list of on-call engineers. 2, contract award, Assets and Infrastructure, Bridge Repairs, Professional Construction Contractors Incorporated of Penn Salem, PA, $177,367.50. Contract provides the rehabilitation of the Pennypack Trail Extension Bridge over tributary to Southampton Creek in Lower and Upper Moreland Townships. Specification 6471 was viewed by 33 providers with 4 responses received. Contract is awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 3, contract award, Assets and Infrastructure, Dam Repairs. Coastal Engineering LLC of Greenwood Lake, New York, $48,000. Contract provides above water and underwater repairs of the gatehouse for Knight Dam at Green Lane Park. Specification 6475 was viewed by 39 providers with 3 responses received. Contract is awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 4, contract award, Assets and Infrastructure, Fire Protection Services, Johnson Controls of Boca Raton, Florida, $65,000. Contract provides for the performance of inspections, testing, servicing, tagging, various fire detection, alarm, and suppression systems and fire extinguishers in county-owned buildings. Services are available through a Sourcewell cooperative contract. Contract term is for a 1-year term of 5/1/2022 through 4/30/2023. 5, contract award, Finance, Financial Services, PFM Financial Advisors, LLC of Philadelphia, PA, as needed. Contract provides public finance financial advisor services for the county. Contract also provides assistance with all facets of debt issuance, financings, and restructuring of county debt portfolio. RFP 2148 was viewed by 22 providers with 2 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated provider. Contract is for a period of 1 year with 3 optional annual renewal terms. 6, contract award, Information and Technology Solutions, Support Services, Infor US of Alpharetta, Georgia, $452,076. Contract provides technical managed services support and system development for the Infor financial system. Infor is a proprietary ERP system. Contract is for a 3-year term billed annually. 7, contract award, Public Safety Service Grants, multiple providers, $36,176.64. Contracts provide the distribution of grant funding for approved ambulance projects coordinated by the Emergency Medical Services Division. Funds received through a Pennsylvania Department of Health grant to County's Department of Public Safety Emergency Medical Services. County solicited applications from all county emergency medical service providers. Responses were reviewed and approved by the County Emergency Medical Services Advisory Board and the Pennsylvania Department of Health. Awarded grantees are Goodwill Stream Fire Engine Company No. 1 Ambulance, Harleysville Area Emergency Medical Services, Horsham Fire Company Ambulance, Lower Providence Community Center Ambulance, Plymouth Community Ambulance Association, Skipback Emergency Medical Services, Souderton Community Ambulance, Pratt Fire Company Ambulance, BMSC of Lower Marion and Narberth, White Marsh Ambulance. 8, contract renewal, District Attorney and Health and Human Services, Forensic Interviewing. Mission Kids of East Norriton, PA, $410,000. Contract provides forensic interviewing and family victim advocacy services for law enforcement officials investigating allegations of child sexual abuse as per RFP 2071. This is the first of 4 available annual renewals. 9, contract amendment, Public Safety Reporting Services, Innovative Emergency Management Incorporated of Morrisville, North Carolina, $1,000. Original contract provided for the delivery of an after-action report to be utilized by the Montgomery County Department of Public Safety in relation to Hurricane Ida. Amendment provides a correction to the original award amount. 10, 4 contracts, 3 contract renewals, and 5 amendments for Health and Human Services. Providers and services are listed at the end of the agenda and in the back of the room.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next, we have awards of contract for emergency procurement for Hurricane Ida.
Yes, 1 contract award, roofing services, Timothy Schaefer Roofing of Solderton, PA, $32,995. Contract provides the installation of a replacement roof for the Parks Region 2 maintenance facility, which was damaged during Hurricane Ida.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding award of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. And then awards for the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force.
This 1 contract award, Mass Notification Software, Everbridge Incorporated of Pasadena, California, $688,329. Contract provides mass notification software for the southeastern Pennsylvania regional counties. RFP 2215 was viewed by 73 providers with 11 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. Contract is awarded for a 1-year term with pricing held for a 5-year.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding award of contract on behalf of the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Any negative vote? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Any closing commissioner comments? All right, hearing none, I will announce that our next meeting date for the Board of Commissioners will be May the 19th, 2022, and that we have an election board meeting May the 6th, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. And I will move to adjourn the May 5th, 2022 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative vote? Meeting is adjourned. And we will move to Salary Board. Welcome the Controller. Good morning, Controller.
Good morning.
And Ms. Co-Francisco, do we have any public comment on Salary Board? Okay, then Ms. Perdue.
Good morning, members of Salary Board. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It is a 3-page document dated Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, with a timestamp of 9:30 a.m. Of note, we have 2 retirees, Roberta Hansel from courts after 24 years, and Denise Pottinger from the Senior Services after 20 years. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for Salary Board consideration.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the preceding award of contract on behalf of the Is there a motion to approve the May 5th, 2022 Salary Board presentation as given by Director of Human Resources, Ms. Donna Perdue, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same?
So moved.
A move by Commissioner Lawrence. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Controller Sanchez. Is there any board comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn the May 5th, 2022 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Lawrence. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Controller Sanchez. Any comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative vote? Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.